Welcome everyone to a personal video of mine, and that is me complaining about my favorite Roblox game for 12 minutes. Okay, I know what you think. Don't get me wrong, I think FNTD2 is the best Roblox game, beating FNTD1, and I think it's really good, but I have a lot of problems to say. So, here goes. Alright, this is gonna be a doozy. The first problem I have is definitely actually, no, I'll save it for last. The first problem I have is units just not getting added. There are some that I wasn't expecting to get added, but did get added, like Funtime Barney, who I actually did predict. But that was in season 4. And yes, oh frick. And yes, spoiler alert. Yeah, he actually got added this update. Surprisingly. Along with Sparky, Toy Foxy, Fred Trap, Nightmare Shadow Barney, which I did not know existed, and Showtime Freddy. But here comes another problem I have, and that being salvaging. Okay, I don't think salvaging itself is bad. I actually kind of like it. You can grind for presents, maybe grind for food, and maybe some XP potions and luck potions. The problem I have is when you're forced to do it for units. Like, for example, the only quest unit so far that, out of Sparky all the way up to Showtime Freddy, the only one I don't have to do salvaging is Showtime Freddy. You have to do 10 for Sparky, 25 for Toy Foxy, 50 for both Fred Trap and Nightmare Shadow Barney, and an astounding 100 for Funtime Barney. Holy hell, you want us to salvage that bad? Also, not to mention you can salvage Secret and Nightmare units, but sometimes it just does not work for some reason. It just says you can't salvage it. It makes no freaking sense. I do not get why this ass thing exists. Maybe it's just because you can't spam secrets, which I get. But, make it so, it goes away in, 24 hours? Not, what feels like a whole ass week. Seriously, I'm trying this, the only hard thing to get about, Fred Trap the Funtime Barney is just, salvaging itself. I got Sparky and I got, Funtime Foxy. Wait, no, not Funtime. Toy Foxy, and I'm close to getting Showtime Freddy, but, I can't, get the other, I can't get the other 4 because of salvaging. Wait, no, other 3, god damn it. The next problem I have is the events. Don't get me wrong, I think Halloween event was fine. It has a problem which I'm gonna get to later, but it was fine. I like the Apex in the update. And I like Under Chica. She's actually the starter I use. Christmas event. I won't say it's as good as the FNTD1 one. Mainly because I actually got the Apex in that one. But I kind of like how you were able to obtain Frozen King Foxy. I kind of like that. OG event. It was god tier. OG event was so good, man. I managed to 100% it. I got every single unit off that. Not to mention I'm still using Valkyrie and Gravelord to this day. But then the problem comes with the last 2. The medieval event and the superhero event. Great concepts, but terrible execution. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is gonna hurt. But here goes. Medieval event, I like the idea. The idea where you have to, grind nights to get other nights and endless. That's cool. The only problem is that it's so ass-clenchingly hard. Obviously you can't use it nowadays because the superhero event is up as of now. But, back then, it was the most difficult event in FNT2 so far. Heck, I would arguably say it's more difficult than any of the other events in FNT1. It was by far the hardest event. Especially when it got to Night 2. Night 2 was just generally so ass, and I really did not have fun with it. However, the units, I will say, were pretty fun. Aside from the fact that, for some reason, there was, a rare unit from the summons. And also the Dragon Paper Pal skin, which I'll get to later. speaking of that later, the superhero event, by far, is somehow even worse. Well, it's not as hard as the medieval event, it's still pretty freaking hard. And not to mention, I'll get to the summoning later, but I do like the idea of you having to choose a team. That is so cool, and I generally do really like that. Plus, I managed to get Ignite Burst Freddy. I'm not buying Robux. Screw off. The next problem I have is PvPs. Jesus Christ. Okay. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because so far, as of today, the only hero unit that I haven't gotten is Anim Dude. And here's why. Okay. I prefer PvP more than FNTD. I prefer this PvP more than FNTD1. Mainly because of the fact that, mainly due to the fact that, you don't have to, basically just have orangey gods pray by your side as much. And I do like the idea of you having to buy units from there and use them in the team. I like that. That's cool. The problem comes with literally everything else. Okay, let me get to the biggest problem I have. For Anim Dude, you have to obtain 1,250 trophies. Okay, let me get to the problem with that. So, I should mention, remember how I said, I did say it 20 seconds ago, that, you RNG gods aren't as bad? They're still really bad. Let me explain. So FNTD2's PvP kind of acts similar to FNTD1's. There's, a thing where you can battle someone, and there's an area where you can, go, I'm just gonna say the metaverse, and battle someone there. They even have 3v3s and 4v4s. Now, here's the problem I have with it. Sometimes, mainly it's a problem if you're, up ranks, you have to battle with lower ranks in, doubles, meaning that the units you bought yourself are locked, and you can't use them. They also had a thing where you were able to ban units, and maybe that was good, because, you can ban people once that people are using, the Crying Child, etc., etc. But, here is the thing. They removed that, and instead just decided to say screw it, and just make it so every unit that you obtain yourself, unless if it's Snoob, is banned. Here's the problem I have with that. If you lose a PvP battle, you lose 15 trophies, which might not seem like a problem, unless if you're right at freaking bronze and lose because the RNG gods decide to bend you over and slap your ass while raying you in the ass cheeks. Yeah, you're screwed. Bye-bye, time to go to intermediate back. And not to mention about the fact that, like I said, aside from the noob units, there's a chance that you can't use any of your units at all, which is just so much fun. And you know the single most thing that also really annoys me is the fact that you can actually battle someone in your server, like I said. Do you know where you get out of that? Literally nothing! Holy hell, you get nothing if you win. Sure, you have your team rather than having to use, a team that you bought. You can use your actual team, but still, you don't get anything. I think you did used to get PvP tokens, but now you don't anymore. You don't get trophies, you don't gain PvT potens, so you have to go RNG to where you can either battle someone who's so easy to where they're not even a threat, or someone that will bend you over and make you lose 15 trophies. Not even leaving the server will help you with that. Holy hell. But somehow, okay. there's somehow one thing that's so really, really worse. Skins and pets. Yes. Skins and pets are by far the worst thing in FNTD2. Mainly skins. Sure, pets are agonizing. They're also bad, but they're not as bad as skins. Do you wanna know why? So for example, let me bring a character. Mendo. Mendo is an OP unit in FNTD1. FNTD2, on the other hand, he's a skin. And skins do absolutely no perks whatsoever. The only skin that gives you perks is the Astral Barney skin. And even then, you have to prestige 10 times for that. Oh yeah, do you know the worst part? They're just used for characters they don't want to make units of. You want Sakiri Puppet, you want Dark Springtrap, too bad, they're skins. Like, I'll not to mention, you remember the superhero thing where I said I'll get to the summons later? Guess what? Aside from the nightmare in that summons, all of them are pets or skins. Not to mention the skins that are in there, you are ones that you buy Robux out of. Not to mention they're the premium ones, meaning you have to buy 2,500 Robux for that, and they're not even obtainable anymore. Sure, some skins are not bad, like Linkage going friendly on their rider, cause they're skins that you buy and are somehow still as expensive as something that you can get that actually does something in the game. Mendo and Sakiri Puppet, I'm especially mad of. I really wanted them to be units, especially Mendo, but they just had to make him skins. They just had to make him skins just to rub their ass on our desperate corpses. Oh yeah, and like I said from earlier, some units are not even in the game yet, like Phantom Puppet or Scrap Baby. But sure, I know for a fact they're not going to be skins, because I swear to God, if Scrap Baby was a skin of Circus Baby, I would generally hang myself with a literal barbed wire noose. Not to mention, like, I feel like for events, they just don't give a crap anymore. Like, for the medieval event on a lesser degree, they put the mythic Dragon Paper Pow skin. They put the Dragon Paper Pow skin as a freaking skin in the summons, which you're most likely gonna get, along with the rares, but there's a mild chance you could get a secret. But, and also, remember how I said the only summon that's not a skin and is an actual unit is the Nightmare, which, may I tell you, is almost as rare as a goddamn Apex. I can get Astral Barney in the Soul Summons easier than a Nightmare who I heard is just mediocre anyways. Like, if you want to make a Nightmare so goddamn rare, at least make them good. Like Valkyrie and Cravor, those are OP, so same goes for the other two. But freaking Devious Purple guy is just ass. Like, honestly, if I had to remove one thing from FNTD2, I swear to God, I would remove skins, and I would also remove pets, but at least they are not used for placeholders. Skins are, so they're just gonna make your whole experience maybe a slightly worse, because your favorite character, like Sakiri Puppet, if you're one of those autistic kids, is a goddamn skin. Sorry about that. I just had to get that off my skin. I don't have, like, any other problem. I might do another video about problems if they add the night shift mode from FNTD1. Because I'm not even joking, I absolutely hated that from FNTD1. It was generally the worst part of FNTD1. It's still not as bad as skins. I'm gonna go end the video and just take a breather now. Bye.